How's everybody doing? You guys bloody married up and all that, ready to go? All right, perfect. Carmen.
Hi.
Great to see you again.
You too.
All right, you're back on the stage
one
more
of my
time.
favorite people.
Thanks, likewise. So, I know you're introduced before, but I'm going to give you some major love here to talk about all the things you've done, which are pretty incredible.
Okay.
So, Carmen's a marketing powerhouse that has led the transformation on how job seekers and employers have been connected through the evolution and the driving force of digital media. Carmen is driving the brand growth and navigation of the intersection of creativity and technology, and always making the case for long-term brand investment in an era obsessed with short-term results.
Yes.
It's all about the brand, of course. But more importantly, you were at GST&M for 27 and a half
or
years.
20 couple decades. Let's just say that.
Amazing. So welcome. We have a lot to talk about, but really what we're going to be covering is the fact that in a world where there's so much technology change taking place with AI across the board, we're going to talk about the evolution of brand marketing in a retail, in a data-driven world, and how your team has cracked the code in brand measurement. So, there's so many great brand messages out there. Talk about a great piece of creative that you've seen over the last year that you really loved and why it stood out to you.
Well, that's a new question. I would say, I know. One of my favorite ones is, speaking of AI and all of these different things, I don't know what it's called, Dove Code or something like that, where, Dove has done a great job at authenticity and real beauty. And so they created this entire campaign around AI, asking it to, show me the most beautiful woman in the world. And so, of course, all these images came up of just gorgeous, unattainable beauty. And then they had, because they've been for many years really all about real beauty, they said, show me the most beautiful woman in the world through the lens of Dove. And then real people started coming up. It kind of gives me chill bumps even to think about it. I love that. Can I just say one other, since we're waiting for the...
Yeah.
Okay. The other one I loved was done, I want to say back in maybe like 2019, where Serena Williams played Serena Williams. It was a Nike ad.
Yes.
And I love that. I thought it was so cool because it just showed about how do you continue to challenge and better yourself. And so essentially, if you haven't seen it, it was launched around the US Open. They had like 2 million views on it as a live stream. And she played herself at whatever young age, 19 or something. Yep. And then she played herself in the current day, and they had her actually play herself, and she beat her younger self. And so that was really cool. You can find it on YouTube if you haven't seen it. I really like that one.
That's pretty incredible for sure. Well, I know that you guys did great creative that is about to launch through 72 and Sunny. So we can't wait to see that.
See that? Okay.
See that down the road. So talk to me about the evolution of Indeed. You guys have grown so exponentially. And admittedly, being a former LinkedIner, there is such a massive difference between the mission of Indeed and its utility versus other platforms that are out there. So I'd love to hear more about the evolution of that.
Yeah, we're actually in a big evolution right now. So Indeed was founded based upon, it used to be where you look for a job and you'd have to go to Career Builder or Monster, or all these different sites to look for a job. And then when Indeed came along, what they did was they aggregated all the jobs into one place, which was really cool. But what happened at that point was, if you applied for a job, many would click on the job and then apply on the company's specific site. And so all these people were falling into this black hole. They never heard back. They'd apply to 200 jobs. And so it wasn't good. So what we've done is we've been trying to fix that black hole, and we've created an Indeed platform now. And but I won't go into that. But we're shifting now into a matching and hiring platform. And what that means is we are we're working through AI and LLMs to do really advanced matching so that we can now offer kind of the most important and relevant jobs to people. And we're going to do that through an agent that I think I just talked about, but I can tell you more about. But that is how we're shifting.
That's amazing. Now, talk to me about, it was mentioned in the last session about your global brand.
Yeah.
So how are you managing the global brand with local strategy?
Yeah. Well, we have obviously a big umbrella, which is the world can work better, and we have kept that global that overall strategy for many years now because it's a strong belief that we feel like the world can work better. The articulation of it right now is better work for better lives. And better work is what anyone wants better work to be. It could be, a higher salary or work-life balance or a great company that has high marks on inclusivity or flexibility and work from home. It can be whatever that is to you specifically. And so what that means that we have to do as well is we have to shorten now and become that career companion for people and understand the journey people are going through, which is a big shift for us. We're going to be supplying and providing a lot of thought leadership, career companions, career guides, salary tools, CV or resume and cover letter help and things like that. And from a employer standpoint, we'll be a talent advisor. So we're starting to do things like, again, macroeconomic forecast, workforce forecast. All of this is free, by the way, on our site if you're ever interested. It's under the Hiring Lab section. But also we're creating our products so we can integrate easily into ATSs with companies which are called applicant tracking systems. So the whole net is we're just trying to make it easier and close the gap for job seekers.
That's amazing because a lot of times with brand, it's like you get someone to believe in the product, then they actually go to the product. And they are kind of disappointed by the product. The fact that you guys have invested so much capital to making this product so relevant and utility for your end user is pretty amazing.
And I'll say that we have a ways to go. We get 1 trillion bytes of data every single day. 350 million uniques coming to our site every month. Like, we have so much data that we were almost like data paralysis. I don't know if any of you all feel like that sometimes. And so the matching piece gets really hard when you have so much data. But now through AI and the LLMs, we can do a far better job at matching. I'll be the first to say, when I first started and Indeed, I tried out the product, of course, when I was interviewing and afterwards. And, I would get like, you're great for an assistant media planner. And I'm like, hello, like not that. And, someone that I work with in marketing got a security officer. Like, these are not good matches. And so give us some time. We're working on it. And by in September, our matching, we've really doubled down. Our Recruit owns us, and they're out of Japan, and we have and they own a lot of different companies and have a big AI solution on the back, and we have really focused on our matching, and you'll see that through our products as well. So it's a journey when you have so much data, but at the same time, the bonus is you have so much data that once you focus on that matching, you can make it happen.
Perfect. We live in a short-term results now world, 1,000%. So brand investment is under so much pressure these days in a world that's fixated with immediate impact. how does Indeed balance the need for immediate performance with long-term performance of brand building?
Okay, well, first of all, I want you to answer that. I'm trying to help. I'm helping a friend.
Oh, funny you should ask.
Yeah.
So, first and foremost, AI is not new to Quantcast.
Yeah.
We've been doing AI since 2006. It all started with the Quantcast Pixel, which is appended across 100 million web destinations. This allows us to get first-party data access across all those destinations. Our company was built by a bunch of engineers, so they're nerd by design.
Yeah.
And through that, we have built out this amazing product called Quantcast Measure, which holds all this data and information. As it relates to the brand, with Quantcast, if you're running a brand campaign, normally if you do a brand survey, you have to wait 2 weeks, a month, 2 months before you get the results. The campaign's over. Yeah. With BrandLift Live, through your dashboard, you can optimize your spend and audiences in real time to get immediate brand lift, conversion, intent, so on and so forth. So to us, we are a performance-driven engine that drives results across the board. So really, that's how we're doing it. But it's all set up based upon what your specific objectives are. So
brand lift is great.
Yes.
Real time, thanks to AI. Y'all have really evolved. I would say that I've just talked about, obviously, the way that we measure through analytic partners and our MMM and things like that. I will say we're also measuring brand. I've talked about through clean rooms, and we're also creating our own, pixelless, privacy compliant solutions. So really, that's how we're kind of moving forward.
Now let's go to the other end of the spectrum. How are you seeing AI change your approach for performance marketing?
Oh, yeah. Well, faster, smarter, efficient, predictive. I mean, there's all these things that you can say about AI.
Right.
So a couple of examples, I'm sure that everyone is probably using them here, but like through Google right now, we're doing all the VBB or values-based bidding and PMAX. And so what we have seen is that our conversions are going up, our costs are going down. We are using AI DCO again that allows us to instant measure, tweak, update, recreate if something's not working on the fly, lots of different assets. The way we use and create those assets is through a technology called Pencil. So it's I highly recommend it if you are needing lots of versions. And so that's it. I will also say one of the things that I'm probably the most proud of is sustainability is important to Indeed. It's really important to me. And so I am helping the sustainability team at Indeed. And what we have done is we've worked with Google to create a custom algorithm that allows our media buys, it taps into real-time data on energy grids. So when we are in our programmatic DV360 buying, we actually are serving ads at the best time based on the energy grids. And it still delivers. So it's not like it's at 3 a.m. or something like that. It's still in good times and has continued to deliver for us. So check that out.
Would you say that due to the evolution of machine learning, the way that brand measurement is now measured, how is that going to evolve or change?
Yeah, I don't think brand measures will change. Everyone wants to understand awareness and consideration and brand of choice. All of that won't change. I think the way we collect, because right now it's through surveys that take forever. And so I think that will change. I think it will have more data at our fingertips and instant results that will allow us to action off of those far more quickly than we have. But again, brand measures are the brand measures. How AI can help us be, quicker and smarter and action more quickly. I think that's what's going to change.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to switch gears here. So I know every brand, including Indeed, has strong. Everyone takes brand safety or privacy very seriously.
Yep.
As it relates to the actual job seeker, what can you comment on when it relates to bogus job postings, scams? We're going to reach out to you during, on WhatsApp or what have you.
Yep.
Some of these nefarious characters, should I say? How do you guys combat that?
We have a large privacy, data, and trust team, and their job all day long is to go and scrape for those. And we have specific quality standards when people post jobs. And so that is their job. And I'm not kidding when I say they can take down 1,000 jobs a day. And scam jobs are out there, especially now with all the, again, we'll talk about AI, but anything. They've always been back there. And they won't only just find the job. What they'll do is they will find behind the job. And generally what happens is they're bots that are just doing that. And so they'll actually follow the bot and could find 50 different other places that they went. So they're like the Sherlocks of jobs, bogus jobs.
Amazing.
It's so funny that French one is, it was like, I don't know if you could catch the subtitles, but it was like two people really wanting to leave, but waiting for the boss to leave. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I remember that. Like when we used to do that. Now, now it's not so big. We work from home. We're flexible here in the U.S., but in France, it's still such a big deal. So.
My London colleagues, did that resonate with you guys? That's spot on? Yeah, perfect.
Oh, good, okay. Yeah.
So what were you guys trying to communicate overall? I love the humor. Looking for a job, that whole process can be so taxing and draconian, and you guys really lightened it up.
Yeah, we did. One of the articulation of the world can work better here is just highlighting the absurdities that everyone goes through trying to get a job. Again, going back to like the salary and interviewing and getting all the way down to the end and still not even knowing if it's a competitive salary. Like that is antiquated, and that's what we really need to change. And as a leader in the job market, those are what we're working. Those are the types of things we're working with employers on. We're also working with employers to include salaries in their job descriptions. We're also working with employers to hire on skills versus degrees. A lot of people have many years of experience and lots of different skills, but without a degree, they just don't even get in the door, and that's ridiculous too. So, and outdated.
You've accomplished so much. You've done so many great things. What advice would you give to marketing leaders navigating today's rapidly changing landscape, and how do you foster innovation with your team?
Yeah, that I think you just, and everyone in here probably feels the same. Like you just have to, you're so curious. Like I feel like everyone here has got to be so curious to come to the panels and show up and talk to everyone. And I would say, empower your teams. Like I really feel it's important. Like even today, help build confidence. And so by doing that, you build trust.
Yep.
Have your team trust you, because if they trust you, they build confidence.
Right.
And when they build confidence, they play outside their sandbox, and there's no fear. And that's when I feel like the magic happens, or the best ideas happen in our business.
Perfect. Now it's time for some hard-hitting questions.
Oh, no.
The lightning round.
Okay.
Barbecue or Tex-Mex?
Well, we're at Lamberts. Barbecue.
Book or podcast?
Oh, book, but let me tell you, Blinkist. Does anyone use Blinkist? I love Blinkist. It's like I can read like 10 books a day with that. It's amazing.
What is your guilty TV pleasure?
Oh, well, I definitely am a binger, and I'm re-watching. Oh, I know Traitors. Is anyone watching Traitors? I love Traitors. I've watched every season. And my other guilty pleasure, I'm gonna lose all credibility right now, is every 2 years I rewatch Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just the best.
Have you watched Better Call Saul?
Oh, I love Better
God.
Call Saul.
Almost better than Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it's so good.
Absolutely. What's the best meal you've ever had?
The best what?
Meal.
The best meal I have ever had. Oh, I love fish and chips in London.
Perfect. Love that.
I love fish and chips.
What was your first concert?
Oh gosh. Okay, it was The Police.
That's a good one.
Not Sting.
That's
the
a good
Police. Yeah, The Police followed by Styx.
And I'm going to follow that up with, finally, what is your go-to karaoke song?
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Carmen, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing all of your insight. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me. You're the best.
Thank you. So are you. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are there any questions?
How's it going? Jason from Rebrand. So I have two parts quickly.
Okay.
Number one, I really appreciate the direction and the no degree aspect of things. So like I resonate perfectly with that. I'm a college dropout, became an entrepreneur, built a level of capabilities and a network that has allowed me to have multiple executive positions in corporations and in companies. So
look at you.
Yeah, so I resonate a lot with that, and I think it's something that needs to be discussed more. So with that, it's great. So also, I'm in a position where I have to interview a lot. I have to hire people. There's executive positions within that. So my thing is, I've been noticing a lot of patterns within cover letters and the way people are communicating, which I've kind of realized that is a lot of consistencies within how they're communicating from an AI aspect. And
yeah.
I'm reading these things and vetting through, and you know how difficult that is to hire people. But then it's like you get to see them in person and meet them, and it's not the same. So we're noticing a lot of these internally. We're noticing a lot of patterns with that. So how are you guys cracking down with that and at least prompting people to just be more personal and more themselves and not leaning too much on AI to tell their story?
It's a great question, because it was one of the questions that we talked about. We're like, well, if AI is writing everything, how are we really matching? Like, everyone's going to match now. So it just doesn't help us. So our profiles are deeper, and we have attached far more than just the basic when you create a profile on Indeed as a job seeker. And so it will go into deeper. At the same time, there are people that will be out there and just say, let AI write it for me. And their CV may be okay, right? Because that's just their experience. But the cover letter piece, you want to differentiate. And so two things. One, they can go edit it and should edit it. And two, there are multiple versions, that they can pick from as well that are more representative of them. So it's not like, here's your cover letter, and that's the only one you get. It's really just to help people get started so that they can then tailor and customize, not spend, 40 minutes writing it, but maybe 10 minutes writing it. Yeah, but I love the skills. The other thing that we're doing too that is near and dear to my heart outside the sustainability is we are working with fair chance employers. And what that does is we go in and what fair chance employers are job seekers, people looking for jobs that were previously incarcerated, because they get a label when they can. And we're not talking about murderers or anything, but we are talking about people that need a break and that have the skills. And so it's really important to us. Again, we are helping all people get jobs. And if we can go in and help someone that was previously incarcerated transition back into the Amazon, we're getting them jobs at Amazon. There are some really open-minded employers out there. And so that's another thing we're doing.
That's great. Great question.
Hello. First of all, great chat. So nice to hear from you. So kind of related to the previous question, I think I've been hearing a lot about job seekers adjusting their resumes and cover letters to hit keywords so they make it past the AI algorithms. And so I'm curious from a match perspective, how you're training your AI models so folks can have a more unique resume and a more personal resume. And even if they're not necessarily hitting a keyword, hopefully still reaching the right companies.
Yeah, keywords for us were, we did use keywords before this. And so we've been doing LLM models and in AI for a while, and certain keywords did pop. We have now expanded that list to so many, I don't even know how many it is. And the reason is just because of that. Like we want to screen in, not screen out, And so the fewer keywords, then the fewer opportunities. So we really do make sure that one of our values is job seeker first. We feel like if we can do right by the job seeker, the employers will come. And so we have multiple words. We're not focusing on a few. So people again can screen in. Yeah.
Great question. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. Oh, so are you.